Hey, it's Jamie from Jamie the Dog Trainer. Welcome to the channel. If you like our content, please subscribe. Today we're actually doing a little tutorial with my own dog, Riley. He's a 6-year-old Border Collie, and we're going to take you through how to get your dog to walk on a loose leash. It's a step-by-step process if you enjoy it. So the first step for me is focus work. This entails basically rewarding your dog for eye contact and focus on the handler. If your dog isn't focused on you stationary, we can't really expect the dog to be then focused on where they are relative to you during the walk. Firstly, you need to have some treats, some nice tasty treats. I usually use something like SPD roll from Prime 100 is really good, but anything like pulled chicken is fine. Not anything that's nice and healthy, but also really high value. What I do to start with, I use a marker that tells the dog when they've done the right thing. And at the moment, I'm marking Riley or rewarding Riley for two things. One is eye contact voluntarily, and one is eye contact after I've asked for his attention. So you can see he's nice and voluntarily looking at me. Yes, I'll mark and reward. Riley, yes, good. And I'm just going to keep marking and rewarding. Yes, yes. I'm making sure, yes, that I mark and then deliver my food. It's really important. Try not to mark and reward at the same time. So don't do this, yes, while you're moving your hand. You want to mark for eye contact, yes, then deliver the food reward. If I mark while I'm delivering the food, he's going to be looking at my hand, not me. Step 2 is getting the dog focused while moving. I usually do this while walking backwards. I consistently move backwards. You can change direction wherever you want, and you reward the dog for following you and focusing on you at the time. The next step is walking backwards with your dog following. All we're after here, yes, is just constant movement, rewarding the dog for following you along. Yes, if your dog gets distracted, just quickly change directions. Yes, and get your dog back focused on you. Yes, once your dog is nice and focused on you like this, it's time for the next step. Step 3 is getting the dog walking next to you in that nice heel position. The way I do that is by turning and getting the dog onto that left side from that previous position. We don't want to be walking backwards our whole life, so what we try and do is get the dog on the left side now. So you start by doing the previous step, getting your dog walking backwards, and then I'm going to turn to my right. Yes, and I'm going to reward him as soon as he's in that position. Yes, right next to me, and I just keep rewarding. Yes. Good boy, good. Yes, each time. Also important, yes, that you have your hand out of the way of the dog. You don't want them too close, otherwise they're just going to be jumping around following the food. Get your hand nice and away. If your dog's nice and focused, yes, and then treat, hand back up again. I also like to hold the leash in my right hand and reward with my left hand, yes, because that means that my dog's not going to try and sneak around the front. If I start rewarding with the right hand, you'll get this position here where he's sideways and your dog will start to trip you over. If I have my leash in my right hand, treats in my left, yes, very different position. Dog isn't trying to sneak around my front. So make sure if you're walking your dog on the left side that you reward with the left hand. Yes. Step 4 is left hand turns and leash handling. With left hand turns, it basically is designed to turn across your dog, providing a little bit of spatial pressure, which means that the dog starts to be more aware of the handler during the walk. So with left hand turns, what we're looking for here is you want the dog on the left hand side, and we're going to be able to turn across the dog. Now, as soon as the dog moves with you, yes, you're going to reward your puppy. It's a lot harder than it looks, but you'll get it. The dog will get the hang of it. Try it a couple of times. Your dog should start moving along with you. Yes, particularly if the dog doesn't have a whole heap of awareness about where you are. Your first turn, you're likely to turn and the dog will just run into you. So we're hoping to start after a couple of trials that your dog starts to be a bit more aware of where you are and turns with you straight away. As soon as he turns with you, so you turn left, dog turns with you, yes, and then treat. So straight after the turn, make sure you don't use the treat on the turn. That's really important. So you'll come through, left hand turn, yes, good job, and reward. We're also going to go through a few little leash skills to make sure that the leash is nice and loose when the dog's in position. With leash skills, we've just got to make sure that we're not walking the dog like this with the leash nice and tight. Leash has to be completely loose. So if we're walking along, leash nice and loose when the dog's in position. We need to be able to give the dog adequate feedback along the leash that if they're in position, everything's nice and relaxed. If they're out of position, we can guide them in and then relax that leash off. We've just got to make sure that when the dog is in position, that the leash is nice and loose. That's our leash skills tutorial. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and comment below any sort of dog issues that you would like addressed on some videos. We're always after some ideas that people would find valuable. And lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe.